My name is Tucker Riley. I graduated from Career Magnet Academy class of 2023, and currently I am a senior at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, studying communication studies. I went to Carter Middle School, so that's here in Strawberry Plains, but I heard about the idea of Career Magnet Academy actually from a young age. My dad worked in the school system, and there were these kind of rumblings about, hey, there's this new opportunity that's going to be coming about. You know, how can we do this?
We started in 2012 with an empty building and trying to decide and figure out what programs are here. We were looking to expand, and not that we wanted to simply fill it up, but there was some really intense talk about what about an opportunity for students that had the academic ability to not only go to high school, but go to college. And the Career Magnet Academy, that's part of how it came to be, the opportunity for a student that's capable to get them into college coursework and let them move along.
Career Magnet Academy is one of the magnet schools in Knox County, Tennessee, Knox County schools. What's unique about Career Magnet is that we are the only high school in Knox County where you can graduate with your associate's degree from Pellissippi before you graduate.
It's enormous for the community when they get the message that I can send my son or daughter to Pellissippi State to give them the opportunity to complete a lot of college credit, even a college degree. It means the world to think of the amount of savings in terms of time, in terms of the dollars saved.
We build scholars. They come here as just themselves. We make them be the best version of who they are. We build them up to become scholars. They go upstairs, they graduate, they continue to do great things in life.
When we talk about our 50-year anniversary, this to me, and I've been at Pellissippi State for, I believe, 32 of those 50 years now. So when I think about that, it's the most unique project that I've ever been involved in. It's special because the student in Career Magnet Academy that selects to come here has an opportunity to not only take college classes, they get to be on a college campus, they interact with other college students, with college faculty from day one. If you're a student at Career Magnet Academy, you're a student at Pellissippi State.
I was honored to be here 4 years for high school and truly partake in a good and foundational academic experience.
I'm very happy that we've done something like this to give them that chance to achieve.